Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Raylan Lakatos. Evangel is gearing up for a classic tradition.
Also, Biden takes a surprise trip to Kyiv.
Cameron Lee is here with your forecast, and Emmeline Perkins has your latest sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Right now we have our first look at weather. Cameron, how is it looking out there?
Well, currently pretty cloudy outside, 29 degrees, so it's not very warm, but it's also not too cold. It's definitely not the weather that we've been feeling all week, but it's going to warm up just a bit going into today. It's going to sunny up and be around 44 degrees as our high. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. I guess we'll know more in just a little while during your full forecast.
I am not looking forward to the colder weather. I was enjoying the warm week we had. President Joe Biden made a surprise visit to Kyiv just days before the one-year anniversary of the Russian invasion of the Ukraine. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and Biden laid wreaths in front of hundreds of portraits of Ukrainian servicemen that have given their lives in the battle with Russia. The visit had been kept under wraps, not wanting to put the president in any sort of danger, though Russian President Putin had been informed of the trip. The United States has given Ukraine billions in funds and weapons in support of Ukraine's war effort. Another aftershock has hit Turkey this week, while many are still recovering from the major earthquake on February 6th. The aftershock that measured to be a 6.3 magnitude hit southern Turkey right above the Syrian border and reached a depth of 10 kilometers. It is said that aftershocks will likely continue for months, if not years. Although it was a powerful aftershock, it would have had to have a greater strength than the original earthquake to be considered a different earthquake.
Evangel University has introduced a new food station in the cafeteria. With food allergies on the rise and specialty diets becoming a necessity, Aladdin is taking steps to provide a safe dining experience for all students. The new A-Zone is a gluten and allergen-aware food station that omits the big 9 food allergies as well as gluten. Each food item at the station is labeled with an icon that displays the allergens it contains. Registered dietitian nutritionists are accessible virtually any time for students and oversee evaluating recipes to provide variety and categorizing allergen and specialty diets in order to support the dietary needs and goals of individual students.
Before A-Zone, I would go into the caf and I'd have pretty much the same thing every morning, lunch, and supper. But now with the A-Zone, I can go in there and there's going to be a variety of things. It's going to be different every time.
The school is taking extra steps to ensure that students like me have food.
Be sure to check out the A-Zone the next time you're in the caf. More than 1 in 5 kids and adolescents around the world show signs of disordered eating. That's according to a new study published Monday in the journal JAMA Pediatrics. Experts say disordered eating can include strict food rules around how much a person eats, what they are eating, and how much they are exercising in relation to their food. Researchers reviewed and analyzed 32 studies from 16 countries and found that 22% of children and adolescents show disordered eating behaviors. Those numbers were higher among girls, older adolescents, and those with a higher body mass index, or BMI. Experts say you should seek professional help if you notice signs of disordered eating in your child. Signs include an obsession with body weight or shape, distorted self-image, rigid dietary rules, binge eating, and purging behaviors. Evangel University is currently hosting its Global Impact Week. Here's Nathan Amrati with more on the story.
This week, Evangel is hosting an event called Global Impact Week to equip students to make an impact in their world.
I just really love getting to experience things outside of what I already know.
I am so excited. I didn't even know, I knew it was Global Impacts Week, but I had no idea that we were going to have like this. I'm so excited for chapel. It's just going to be the Holy Spirit in there. I just know it. So.
This event is to encourage students where they are at and to provide them opportunities and connections to help them partner with different organizations.
Yeah, so I'm with Convoy of Hope, and we do a lot of things globally, and we were invited to come, and actually one of the speakers today, Erin, she's from Convoy of Hope as well, and so we're here in support of her, but also to kind of represent Convoy and tell people what we do around the world and how we help people around the world.
Impact chapels are scheduled on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the Evangel students to get plugged in. Also on Friday night at 6:30 p.m. at the AGTS building, there will be a discussion time to talk to missionaries and have them answer questions.
That's what a week like Global Connections does. It helps us realign ourselves and recognize there's a big, vast world that's bigger than me. And I get to be a part of God's mission. And so, yeah, there's the big sense, but then in the very personal sense, I'm changed, I'm challenged, I'm shaped when I get to realign away from myself and see what God is doing and how we can impact other people.
So my heart cries for missions. So just being involved and seeing people, like we share the same passion and being in the same community makes my heart so happy. So that's why I'm here.
With Global Impact happening this week, there is a tangible change as students interact with hope. Reporting for Newswatch, I am Nathan Amati.
The Evangel Student Activities Board has announced interviews will be happening soon for those who wish to compete in Mr. EU this spring. The pageant competition is a tradition at Evangel where men from all over campus show off their personalities and talents in an attempt to charm both the judges and the audience. A favorite is chosen by the student body and is crowned Mr. EU. Interviews take place on Tuesday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. here on campus.
Up next, we'll be talking with Dr. Cameron Pace about his upcoming trip to LA.
This and more when we get back after this break.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Thank you. Did you see anyone's waffles? You moved it? Thanks for helping us. No problem. Is this your You're welcome.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Evangel's Activities Board hosted Break the Ice on February 21st. It was an icebreaker event that's main goal was to introduce students to people on campus that they had not met before. The event had a mini Jeopardy, a fun fact wall, a coloring room, a game room, speed meeting, and plenty of food. Nicole Carnero, event team leader of Break the Ice, stressed that their main goal was to introduce you to a new friend.
It's just a different night that you just get to catch up with people and just, I don't know, add someone on Snapchat.
Activities Board's next event will be S'mores Indoors, which will be during midterms week. Summer Roddershot is standing by with a special guest. Summer?
Thanks, Raylan. With me today is Dr. Cameron Pace, head of the Communication Department at Evangel University. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
I'm glad to be here.
So you guys are taking a trip to LA coming up, correct?
Well, we do have a group from the Communication Department taking a trip. I'm not going this time.
Okay.
I have gone many times on the LA Film Studies trip, but this time it's just going to be Dr. Stanek and 5 students.
Okay, so why does the comm department take trips to different cities? This time it's LA. I know later they are going to Las Vegas, correct? So why do they take trips?
It's not so much about the city as to the things that are there. In fact, for instance, you mentioned the Las Vegas trip. That's the National Association of Broadcasters Convention. And we will be going that with a group of students in mid-April.
Okay.
But this trip actually they're leaving on Saturday of this week. The Los Angeles Film Studies trip is an opportunity for students who usually are interested in film. They may not necessarily be film majors, but they might have an interest in knowing the history of filmmaking. And of course, Los Angeles would be the place to go for that. And so they tour studios. They actually visit a couple film studies schools where students could take a semester off and actually study right there in Los Angeles for a semester, earn some credits, maybe do an internship at a studio or some other film-related business. So it's a really good experience for them to be in the LA area for maybe a semester. But this trip coming up is just to get a little taste of that, to see if they have those types of interests, and at the same time see some sites that are film-related, and they learn by doing that.
That is so interesting. Have you ever had any students from Evangel while you've been here take a semester off and go there?
Oh yeah, we've had a number of students. So we're connected with the LA Film Studies Center, which is a Christian film studies center where students can come and spend a semester. They get about 16 credits. They also have a program for students who have already graduated that they can get something like a certificate in film production. They cover things like producing, directing, shooting, writing for film. And it's also television. There's a lot of television involved there, and some of the projects are television related, so it's not just movies that they're learning about. They also have some coursework in like the integration of faith and film. And so that's a nice thing. But we also have some other schools that are not necessarily Christian related, but they are private. And we allow students to hear about what they have to offer too.
That is so interesting. So they take this trip every year. How does the trip change from year to year? Is it the same itinerary every year, or do they keep changing things, adding in different stuff, switching stuff out?
Well, it depends on the availability. One of the things we try to do when we go is to see a making of usually a television show. You can't really get on the lot of a movie production.
Sure.
But television shows are produced there regularly. This particular trip, they're going to be in the audience of a kind of a redo of the Frasier sitcom.
Okay.
So Kelsey Grammer and all the cast will be there. They'll get to watch that. I wish I would have gone on that trip because I really enjoyed that show. Kelsey Grammer's a great person. But we have seen like Jimmy Kimmel and back when Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien.
Wow.
We were in the audience for one of the Connors episodes.
Okay.
So this is really learning, because now you're watching all these professionals working the cameras and lights and sound, and the actors are there. And it's not so much there's a celebrity, even though we run into celebrities once in a while. People got their picture taken with Alice Cooper one year. Saw him at a restaurant and said, "Hey, can we get a picture?" And other celebrities once in a while. So, it is the LA area, so you're going to run into that. But we want them really to understand that this is a business, this is a whole industry, and what it's like. And a lot of it takes place in Los Angeles. So having an idea of what LA is like, gives them an idea, this is something I might want to do or not.
Sure. So why would you recommend this trip to students? Why should, obviously, if they're interested in film, it gives them a really firsthand look at it, but why should students go on this trip?
I would say there's two main reasons. One is cultural, and that's why some students are taking it as part of their general ed experience at Global Connections. It is a different culture. It's very different from Springfield, Missouri. At the same time, we're looking at the entertainment culture And we get to hear from people who work in the business. We have alumni who work in LA, and we meet them. We meet together with the students, and they get to hear the stories of working in the business. And it's really eye-opening for a lot of people, especially students who have never been out past the Midwest. You know, they're not been to California before. It's an interesting experience. And then the second thing, of course, is giving students who are thinking about working in LA in their future, that they get a taste of that and an idea of if this is something they want to do or not. LA is not necessarily something that everybody wants to do.
Yes,
in terms of their life goals.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. Let's go back to the desk with Raylan and Cameron.
Thanks, Summer. So Cameron, what can we expect this week after yesterday's rainstorm?
Well, I think we can expect a little bit more rain coming up this week and maybe some more warmer weather, but we'll have to stick around for the full forecast to find out.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
The Juanita K. Hammonds Hall for the Performing Arts is going to be hosting the Broadway musical Hamilton. The Missouri State Hall has also held other Broadway productions, such as the Blue Man Group, Aladdin, and Tootsie. Hamilton will be in Springfield from February 22nd to March 5th, and after that they'll be showing My Fair Lady from May 16th through the 18th. Tickets can be found on hammondshall.com or MissouriStateTix.com.
Well, that is certainly very exciting for our theater lovers out there.
I have never seen Hamilton. I'm a theater fan, but I love My Fair Lady, so I might try to squeeze into that show. Cameron, what's the forecast looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, this coming week, it's definitely going to have some rain and some warmer temperatures, but we'll get to that in just a second. What I want to look at is current conditions. Currently outside, cloudy, 29 degrees, definitely super chilly, but it's going to warm up as we go into today. Definitely sunny, highs of around 44. Not as warm as we were feeling earlier this week, but definitely warmer than it is right now. But as we go into tonight, it's just going to cool down. Clear, lows of around 28, so it is going to be a little below freezing. So if you have plans tonight, do not go out without a jacket. You'll regret it. As we look at our almanac, we can see that today's temperatures, we already know that 44-degree weather with that lows of 23. Average temperature right now being around 52 degrees, but the record temperature at 84 degrees. And I don't know about you, but I wish that we were feeling that 84-degree weather. If we look at our satellite, we can see some movement along here, some precipitation across the top and right through here. We're definitely going to be feeling that later in the week, which we'll get to in just a second. But what I want to talk about is how much is coming through here. And we can see it on the radar. As we see, we can see everything that was coming up through here, all that movement here. Not too much going on here. This is more what we were feeling in this past week, but we can definitely see we've got something right along here, and it's just a question of if it's going to come to us. One last look at those Missouri temperatures, 41 degrees, highs of 44 today, so we already know that. But Kansas City's having highs of 31, so definitely thankful that we're not feeling as cold as Kansas City, but we're a little bit warmer. National forecast, this is all snow through here. I'm so thankful we're not feeling that snow. However, this is the rain that I was talking about. We don't see any on top of us, but this cold front that's coming through here, it just went through us, so we're not going to feel it. We're still going to stay pretty warm this week. That's probably what we're feeling tonight, maybe tomorrow, but we can see it warm up just a bit in our 6-day forecast when we look at days like Monday and Tuesday with highs of around 66, 64, 62. I'm thankful that I can put some shorts again, so I'm excited for that. But Saturday and Sunday, scattered showers. It is going to rain just a bit, with highs around 54 and 63 on Sunday. So it's going to warm up, but there is still some rain in the forecast. That's all I have for you right now. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. You know, I've been wearing shorts this week, and it looks like I'm going to have to wear pants today and tomorrow, but then the shorts are coming back.
I know. I am so ready for spring weather to get here. Up next, Emmeline gives us the latest in sports. We'll be right back.
Kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
A teenage volleyball player had to have both her legs amputated after getting hit by a car on Saturday in St. Louis. Janae Edmondson was participating in a volleyball tournament and was walking back to her hotel with her family when an out-of-control car struck and critically injured her. Edmondson had just committed to playing college volleyball, and now her life is changed forever. The police have arrested 21-year-old Daniel Riley as the suspect in the crash. Riley has been awaiting trial for over a year on a charge of robbery with a firearm.
That's a heartbreaking story. That poor girl's life will never be the same.
I know, I feel so bad for her. And now Emmeline Perkins with the latest in sports.
Thanks, Raylan. The Evangel women's basketball team lost in the quarterfinals to Clark Pride on Wednesday with a score of 92-82. This will be the end of their season. Alexis Roach was named on the second team all-conference, and Micah Clayton was named as an honorable mention. The women's basketball team will return in the winter of 2023. The Valor softball team split with Central Baptist Mustangs on Tuesday. In the first game, the Valors lost 1-7, with Megan Stone hitting a home run and scoring the Valors' only run. The second game, the Valors won 11-5, with Allie Rayleigh hitting a home run and Kaylee Berry hitting 2 home runs to help the Valor to their victory. The Evangel softball team will take on William Baptist Lady Eagles on Saturday at 1-3. Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors is still out on injury after his knee collided with Dallas Maverick point guard McKinley McWright. Curry has missed 5 games so far. With only 24 more games in the season, the Golden State Warriors plan to tighten some things up while they are down some key players. The Golden State Warriors' next game is tonight against the Los Angeles Lakers at 9 p.m. Speaking of the Lakers, we all know basketball star LeBron James, but what about his son, Bronny James? Some fun facts were just released. Bronny James' NBA draft stock is on the rise. He currently has 3 different offers from colleges. He is selected for the 2023 McDonald All-American Game. He will make his Team USA debut in April. He helped his father design the XX sneakers. And lastly, he wears the number 0 for Russell Westbrook. Back to you guys.
You know, I knew LeBron was old, but I didn't realize he was old enough to have a son that's almost going to be in the NBA.
Up next, a dog takes on a shark.
And Cameron joins us for our final forecast. Stay with us.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant. Behold, the angry giant!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Hey, did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
A feisty dog in the Bahamas decided to square up to a shark. A group on a boat tour witnessed a 12-foot hammerhead shark approaching, then saw a dog that was on board leap into the water, seemingly trying to fight the shark. The dog's motive was unclear. He was either trying to play with the shark or trying to protect its territory. But no worries, the dog escaped unharmed, and likely it was the same fate for the shark. That is one brave dog, and quite frankly, I feel like my dog would do the same thing.
I mean, if I was the owner, I would have been scared to death for that dog.
Petrified.
Oh my goodness. Cameron, how's the weather looking for the rest of the week?
Well, it's definitely not warm enough for us to swim with the sharks. However, we do see some warmer weather coming on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Highs of 66 on Tuesday with our warmest day in the forecast. However, Saturday and Sunday, we've got some scattered showers coming. So they are going to be pretty warm, 63, 54, but it is going to be a little rainy. But after that day, you don't have any more rain coming for you. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cameron. That's all for us today. I'm Summer Ottershot.
And I'm Raylan Lacatus. This has been Newswatch Today. Please join us next week for more about EU TV and the latest Evangel news. Go to euvalormedia.com.